Hello everyone, welcome live to 3Y TV, tonight's broadcast of the Taz Racing Customs Superspeedway series, and we're not at a Superspeedway here tonight. We are at the great, famous Irwindale, just located outside of Los Angeles, California, for some figure eight racing for the first time ever on 3Y TV. Folks, we just wrapping up the qualifying session here in this one, and I'll tell you what, it has been a good one with Drew Eisenman picking up the current pole position. We'll see whether or not our live timing and scoring graphics decide to work here tonight. Things are off to a great start, but how are you guys in the chat here tonight? I'm excited to see some great figure eight racing here tonight at this famed racetrack, getting to squash some bugs with the Volkswagen Beetle. That's right. We are going racing with the Beetle for the first time this season, and that is not what was supposed to come up. That's another iRacing program that I use for telemetry. But I'll tell you what, we got a little bit of a warm-up here for just a few moments. We'll get the graphics all sorted out while I click all the buttons in the background. Definitely going to be a fun one here tonight with all the bugs working their way around the racetrack. You see Chip Hansen right there, and it looks like finally the graphics have decided to spring to life here on the channel. Sometimes they just don't quite work out here tonight. Let's see if we can bring up what will be the grid here tonight, because I'll tell you what, we don't have a huge field around this racetrack, but all things considered, it is going to be a lot of fun. And here are the qualifying results if they pop up. Well, there you go. Qualifying results are none, though all of the graphics breaking. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the fact that it is a figure eight, because we've never had that here on the channel. Hopefully, all the other graphics start to work out. We'll see if we can bring up, there is the current standings here in the warm-up session. But this is the first one. First time we've ever been to a figure eight here on 3Y TV, so I don't know how it's all going to work out, but we are going to see some bugs get smashed up here tonight. 50 laps. Or an hour. Surely it isn't going to take an hour here. These bugs are whipping around the racetrack very, very quickly. You can see here in the session, 21.624 second lap time by J. Mitchell Adams. Fastest so far, with just about a minute remaining here in the session. But definitely going to be a lot of fun here tonight. All these drivers getting all their frustration out after what was a tedious end to the season, because the current package of cup cars is really, really tough. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun to see these drivers vent their frustration after racing with a not-so-fun draft package over the last 5 weeks or so. And so I'm expecting to see quite a few wrecks here tonight. The drivers have 10 fast repairs for all the 50 laps that we're going to see here tonight, so they can pretty much smash their cars up as much as they want. There's the number 86 machine, Jeff Wyatt. A lot of new looks here tonight. OGR Racing, of course, old guy racing team right there. And you see right behind him, that's William Kerwin, usually up here in the booth with me. We were going to have a guest commentator, but seems like unable to make things, unfortunately, here tonight at Irwindale. William Kerwin's right there. There's the 77, the Woody of Drew Eisenman, getting his way around the racetrack right there. Mitchell Adams, Dr. Pepper machine. And folks, this is going to be really confusing. It's already confusing. You got the 49 machine of Mitchell Adams, but then the number 5 machine of Ben Adams is running the exact same car. Exact same name, exact same car. They're both sponsored by Dr. Pepper here tonight. So I'm going to be getting that one mixed up all night long. Meanwhile, we're down on the grid. We're going to skip the heats. There were some heat races set up. We're going to skip those. We're going to go straight into the race, and we'll figure out who is all starting where. Let's see if the grid graphic works. It does work. That's good. We're not at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're not the Total Nonstop Racing League. But I'll tell you what, Drew Eisenman, Chris Darling on the front row. JT Poole, Mitchell Adams on row number 2. Jeff Wyatt, Andrew Himmelman on row number 3. Ben Adams, Chip Hansen, Colin O'Leary, Ben Mashburn, Shane Ledoux, Jeffrey Vickery there a little bit further back. Let's see if we can dial up the next few cars back there. That's Doug Neal and William Kerwin. 14 cars out here tonight. Big question is going to be how many of those cars make it to the end of the show here tonight, because you know, I guess they have enough fast repairs that they could wreck once every 5 laps, but we'll have to wait and see whether or not they do indeed. So we will get rolling here. Drew Eisenman leading down the field. You see the number 11 machine there, Chris Darling. Got the Mater look on that machine. World's best backwards driver is Toe Mater, and perhaps, maybe we'll see that number 11 bug going in the wrong way here tonight. Probably will here on the figure 8 track. A lot of fun here going around the racetrack. We're already hearing that some drivers are getting incident points from iRacing because of that jump that you saw right there. They all had to go over that jump. We're waiting for the iRacing safety car up there to disappear onto pit lane, and we will get this race going here very shortly. There goes the pace car, racing the hands of the number 77 machine of Drew Eisenman. Chris Darling looking to try and take the lead as well here from the start. We'll see how many of these drivers take tonight seriously. That's the whole thing here. It's the all-star race, but you can't take it too seriously, because if you do, you could end up getting your feelings hurt. No one wants that, although that happens a lot here in iRacing these days with those official races. Coming down what is actually the front stretch right here, waiting to see the green flag. There it is. We're racing at Irwindale. JT Poole giving the bumper to the 77 machine once, twice, thrice. They're going off into turn number 1. They're checking up. They're still stacking up. 4 wide going into the jump for the first time here tonight. How about that? And oh no, Chip Hansen's going around. The 77 Hansen is absolutely totaled at the top side of the racetrack. Excuse me, that's not Chip Hansen. That's Jeff Wyatt. In his machine, absolutely destroyed. Upside down, he'll get a tow back to pit road, but up at the front, it is Colin Ullery in his machine who has been able to take his car to the front. But look at this, 4 cars battling for the lead, and oh, Himmelman in the 95 machine gets involved, and he goes up on his side. Folks, this is going to be a wild one to keep track of here tonight. Drew Eisenman's been crashed. JT Poole is your race leader. And look at Poole, all alone up there at the front. Ben Adams in one of the Dr. Pepper machine running in second. Third place is Chris Darling. There is that number 11 machine going over the jump there, almost making contact with, oh no! The 78 machine there, Doug Neal, the Terry Labonte scheme going up and over. He will have to take a tow back to pit road. It is still JT Poole leading this field, but Chris Darling and Ben Adams, they're in a little bit of a scrum right there. That's the battle for second. Looks like Chris Darling's going to take it away. These cars don't drive like your typical cars do. They are 4-wheel drive machines. And oh no, Chris Darling, something's happened to the number 11 machine. He's had a problem. We're also hearing that someone else had to take a tow. Darling's pretty much dead. That number 11 machine is kaput. He will have to take a tow back to pit road. There's JT Poole almost making contact with someone. Not sure who that was in his machine. There's Jeffrey Vickery in the Barbie machine. Yes, that's right. That is a Barbie number 21 machine. Good looking ride right there. Colin Ullery in the other Barbie machine, the 62's coming back out there on the racetrack. But folks, this is just near on impossible to keep track of what's going on. Everything happening so fast. There's William Kerwin in the blue and red machine. Now, of course, these schemes a lot different than what we saw them run all season long. There's Andrew Himmelman re-entering the track. Keep your eyes on the scoring pile on the left-hand side of your screen, because the action is just too intense all over this racetrack to really keep up with. So keep your eyes on that, because I'm sure stuff will happen that we can't quite see. Here is a look at the intersection of the figure 8 as these laps click by very quickly. JT Poole. Oh my goodness! Speaking of JT Poole, just absolutely clobbered Shane Ledoux. Ledoux is upside down and do a barrel roll, folks. Looks like Ledoux is going to get back rolling on the outside of the racetrack. As you can see, this racetrack has an inside and an outside. Well, Ledoux decided to go around the outside. That's not going to work out too well for him. But we have a new race leader in that contact that the number 26 that JT Poole had with Shane Ledoux. Drew Eisenman, who was your pole sitter here in this all-star race, he was able to get himself back up to the front, all things considered. It's been an eventful first 10 laps for that number 10 machine. We also got to see back there the old guy racing number 86. That is Jeff Wyatt. I incorrectly said that was the number 87 of Chip Hansen, who's his teammate. And let's check in on Chip Hansen. There's the other OGR machine getting a little bit of a nudge from getting just dumped by, I think that had to be the number 5 of Ben Adams, because there's the 49 machine of Mitchell Adams. You see how it's confusing, folks? I said I'd get them mixed up here tonight. Let's check in on Chris Darling in the number. Oh my goodness, we got absolute death. I think that's Andrew Himmelman on his side. It was Andrew Himmelman on his side. I think we could go back and watch this race probably 3 or 4 times, and we probably wouldn't see every single crash. We're getting word that Jeff Wyatt has had an incident. He's back going. Just so much going on right now. 2.2 second race lead. Yes, they are racing here at Irwindale. Oh, was that your race leader that just got involved? Yes, it was. Drew Eisenman just got clobbered, and there goes the race lead. JT Poole now back up to the front in his Little Tykes VW Beetle, going through the intersection this time, and he gets absolutely cleaned out by one of the Dr. Pepper machines, one of those 23 flavors, knocking him upside down, and it looks like he's going to roll back over. Who was that? Was that the 49 machine of Mitchell Adams? It wasn't, so it had to be the number 5 of Ben Adams, I think, getting involved. Drew Eisenman in the 77 machine's taking his car to the pit lane, so he'll use one of his fast repairs here on lap number 14. Obviously, that thing's not driving too straight, but in all this madness, it's going to give the race lead to Mitchell Adams, one of the Dr. Pepper machines now out front. He has the 11 of Chris Darling tucked up, and there goes Chris Darling, gets absolutely slaughtered by Andrew Himmelman. Himmelman again, that's like 2 or 3 laps in a row for that number 95 Lightning McQueen machine. Definitely not having the night that you would think Lightning McQueen would be able to jump and bounce and skip around through all these incidents, but not looking all too good for Himmelman right now, being scored in 13th out of the 14 cars. We saw one of the cars that Terry Labonte inspired, number 78 of Doug Neal. There he is. JT Poole's missing a wing in his Little Tykes machine, and I think even the Little Tykes car comes with some type of a wing or spoiler or something, but right now JT Poole's fighting around, and there goes the 87 Chip Hansen going around back there off the nose of the number 78, almost gets taken out by, I think that is the number 21 machine, or maybe, yeah, it was the number 21 machine. There's the number 12 right there going around the racetrack. That is Shane Ledoux. Where's Colin O'Leary? Colin O'Leary's found Drew Eisenman, and Drew Eisenman's found himself in a heap of trouble. Second place on the racetrack, and geez, that's Doug Neal finding himself getting knocked out. Shane Ledoux in the 12 is going to run their fastest lap of the race as these laps continue to click on by. And as you can see, Ledoux is a lap down, but we have a battle for the race lead between these two. Drew Eisenman and Mitchell Adams. You see that 77 right in front of, oh my goodness, just cars barrel rolling. I take this back. This isn't a battle for the race lead. This is a battle for Drew Eisenman to go down a lap. And if he can stay in front of Mitchell Adams, he'll stay on the lead lap. Both of those drivers just barely squeaking through the jump right there. Folks, this is one for the ages. First time we've ever had this here on 3Y TV. You see everyone trying to get over the jump. Man, Doug Neal just barely squeaking through. Here comes JT Poole and Chris Darling, and Darling is dead into the white barrier right there. Question for the chat. I mean, should we just keep it on this view? Should we just keep it on this view? I don't know. I don't know if there's another view that tells the story better than this one. Mitchell Adams currently up to a 1-lap lead over Drew Eisenman. Eisenman is up there at the top of the screen. He's actually on pit road, as is your race leader right now, Mitchell Adams. He's in his pit box getting one of his fast repairs. And also, one thing about these cars is they burn through fuel very, very quickly. They're not designed to race for more than about 10 laps at a time. These are the Global Rallycross cars. Rest in peace, Global Rallycross. It's a dead series nowadays, but these cars only really go out there for 10 laps. Go, turn some laps, have some fun. And because of that, they have a very small fuel tank. So we'll see some drivers maybe come down, use that fast repair, and also come down and get some fuel on board. The number 5 machine, Ben Adams, just took a tow back to pit road. And your race leader's around. JT Poole clobbers into the side of Mitchell Adams, clobbers into the back of Mitchell Adams. And Adams says, you know what, guys, I don't want to have anything of that. Drew Eisenman's going to get back on the lead lap. Now, is Drew going to try and spin that number 49? It's no limits here at this racetrack. I know we say no limits Texas, but it's no limits Irwindale here tonight. Eisenman gonna try and squeak on by. We're hearing that William Kerwin might have just had a moment as well. I'm just looking at my scoring pylon, and it's just red. And why? It's because it's saying every driver is crashing constantly around this racetrack, and that's exactly what you're seeing. Jeffrey Vickery and Drew Eisenman doing battles. Oh, Jeffrey Vickery taking out, going up into the Space Force, going up into the catch fence, and the 21 Barbie machine make a Space Force Barbie, because that's where you'll find Jeffrey Vickery right now. Meanwhile, here is your race leader, Mitchell Adams, continuing to stay out there. Is that Vickery smoking? It is. Vickery is laying down some smoke, trying to kill all of the mosquitoes here around the racetrack. Go, Chris Darling backing it up into the wall. That's not a good look for the number 11 Tomater thing. I told you, folks, world's best backwards driver, the number 11 machine, Chris Darling. You saw it right there, getting up into the wall. Just giving the fans what they came to see. And, oof, jeez, William Kerwin, like a baseball out of the air by a baseball bat, gets thrown up into the wall. The number 12 machine as well, Shane Ledoux, getting tossed up into the catch fence. He's going to have to take a tow back to pit road. JT Poole, early race leader, currently running in the 4th position, barely squeaking through there. You see Doug Neal and Andrew Himmelman just barely squeaking through. Cone's not squeaking through. They get tossed up everywhere. As we are now over the halfway mark here, folks. William Kerwin, he's smoking. And that's not a good sight when you got a smoking race car. You'll take a tow back to pit road. Mitchell Adams continuing to run well. There's Drew Eisenman, who again finds himself one lap down in his Woody Bug, trying to kill some cones. 3rd place, JT Poole right in front of him. JT is pretty much a whole lap behind Drew Eisenman in that 3rd position, but you can quickly see, folks, how things change here. We got the Shane Ledoux on pit road. There's Colin Ullery running in the 4th spot, but just absolutely annihilating JT Poole there. Poole goes around, and he looks like he's a little bit worse for wear. He's going to get back going. Let's see what's going on down there in the jump cam. There goes the 11 of Chris Darling going over the jump. There goes the old guy racing, number 86 machine. All is quiet for now. When will we see the next accident? If I can feel it brewing. And oof, I thought that was going to be it. JT Poole just barely squeaking on through. But still, Mitchell Adams holds on to a 1-second lead, coming down to 20 laps to go here around Irwindale. Here comes JT Poole back over the jump. You can see how much air they get. Let's see if we can go on board with driver of the number 26 machine, JT Poole. Let's go on board. Let's see what's going on here. And we'll see what type of air he gets over this jump next time. You can see his speed down there. They're not going awfully fast, but these bugs are extremely light, and they have intense acceleration. You see him launch up out of the corner. There's someone upside down right there. That might have been the 11 machine of Chris Darling. But you can just kind of see how much air they get. I think it was Chris Darling. He's back on pit road. Doug Neal in the number 78 machine. Don't know what he's doing. He's doing some off-track excursions there on the outer oval, coming back onto the racetrack. Better be sure not to disqualify yourself. You can get a black flag doing that type of thing, but he's going to get himself back going straight. He finds himself currently in the 6th spot. Andrew Himmelman, who's had a very eventful race, that's for sure, in the Lightning McQueen number 95 machine, goes over the jump side by side with, I believe that's the number 21. I'm trying to get all these cars down. It could be Colin Ullery in the 62. It is Colin Ullery in the 62, one of the other Barbie machines. There's a couple of them running here tonight, just like we got the 2 Dr. Pepper machines of Adams and Adams. Yep, that's difficult. It is one of the Dr. Pepper machines leading, though. Mitchell Adams, 1 lap lead. How's Ben Adams doing? There is the number 5, just inside the top 10 right now, going over the jump. And really, if I was to say something, I think these drivers are starting to figure it out. You know, these are race car drivers. They don't want to get clobbered every time they go through the jump. They want to win the race. And I think they're finally starting to figure out how to avoid that the contact. I mean, Mitchell Adams has run a pretty clean race in his machine. We got Jeff Wyatt, who's gone around. I think JT Poole. Now, I'm just saying that, folks. I'm just saying I think they finally figured out how to get through the racetrack, and then they all wreck. So, I don't know anything. And there we go. just died. 77 machine of Drew Eisenman, second place car. Let's see if we can go back and see exactly what happened on this one. He's just showing us his the top side of his car. We're not going to even go to the rewind or the replay screen. We're just going to rewind it. We're not going to do any of that fancy stuff here tonight. Just destroy, just sent up into the catch fence. Glad there's a catch fence there. All the fans back home will be glad there's a catch fence there too. We're back live. There is your race leader. He's continuing to pull time on the 77 of Eisenman, with Eisenman now having to take that fast tow to pit road after being sent up into the fence. JT Poole is, was that someone who just ended up in the wall there? It was. That's the number 12 machine. Shane Ledoux, fifth place car, has the fastest lap here tonight. Again, we're just going to go back, rewind it, because why not? We can do that faster than doing anything else. And yep, boom, just into the wall like that. All on his own accord that time. Maybe a little bit of Rubbin's Ray. He's still having problems out there. Himmelman's had his issues, again, starting to come to fruition. Let's see what happened here. Side by side, going into the jump. JT Poole right there, and boom. That, I think, was one of the old guy racing machines, and Himmelman back to pit road. He's been there quite a few times. In fact, let's see if we can bring up, and this is going to be a funny one, because I've never seen anything like this before. Let's bring up the current pit strategy. Yeah. The 49 machine, Mitchell Adams, he's only been on pit road once. JT Poole also only on pit road once, but look at some of those numbers a little bit further down. You got Ben Adams there. He's pitted multiple times. Jeff Wyatt, he's pitted a lot. Shane Ledoux's only pitted once in his machine, as has the number 78 machine of Doug Neal. So a couple of those drivers. And then you got some in the middle. Drew Eisenman out on his third pit stop. He's just dropped a spot to JT Poole. So some of these drivers kind of getting lucky, as that is your race leader there, folks. Mitchell Adams getting roughed up by some of the cars around him, and I don't blame him. They got to do something. They got to do something to try and take out the race leader. We only got 9 laps to go. And if you're JT Poole, Drew Eisenman, or someone else, that person right there, he has a crosshair on his back. He has a target on his back right now. And that Dr. Pepper number 49 machine, I would be amazed if no one catches it. I mean, surely someone's going to slow down to try and take him out. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see whether or not that happens. But going through the jump that time, looks like everyone kind of making their way through. There's William Kerwin working his way through. We got, Ben Adams has must have had a moment. There goes Drew Eisenman going on by. But that Dr. Pepper machine, it didn't look like he had all too many flavors left in that car. JT Poole, second place right there in the Little Tykes machine, going through the jump. Trying to keep it all together, try and come home second. Granted, he's 3 laps behind your race leader, and hey, he's going to try and help out the number 11 machine, Chris Darling, on his roof yet again, and trying to do some breakdancing to get himself back on all 4 wheels. Not able to do so. He'll stay stuck up there in turn number who knows what. And William Kerwin says, okay, we're going to spin him like a top. Anyone else going to try and help out Chris Darling? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, there's Colin Ullery, who was your champion of the Taz Racing Customs Superspeedway Series. We can't forget, he went to Victory Lane a couple times and ended up picking up that championship. We'll see what he can do in next season's championship. Whoa, wow, Drew Eisenman. Look at that sliding by the number 77 machine of Eisenman, but he kind of slid himself into a hole right there. Bump, bamper, bamper, bamp, bamp, bamp. Just boink, boink, boink. And he was able to slice his way through. Now, here's the big question. Is that Mitchell Adams right behind it? It is. Meanwhile, they're wrecking back behind. There goes the 78 machine, Doug Neal. He's trying to go backwards. And, folks, Mitchell Adams right there. He knows. He knows that the third place driver, Drew Eisenman's right in front of him. He knows that Eisenman would wreck him. And there goes, I think Eisenman's saying, you know what, buddy, come on by me. Because, yep, boink, 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 upside down, end over end, goes through him, and somehow Mitchell Adams was able to get through that, not unscathed, but relatively unscathed. He's still your race leader, 3 laps to go. JT Poole in second. Colin Ullery is in 4th right now, and might have been in 4th. Might not be in 4th for too much longer, because he's on his lid, and now trying to do some more breakdancing. I know there's a lot of breakdancing that goes on in California, but there you go. It worked. The 62 machine back on all four wheels. He's going to do some burnouts for the fans, and he's going to stay in fourth spot. How about that, folks? Breakdancing here on 3Y TV. First time we've seen that. White flag is in the air right now for Mitchell Adams. A close call there with Shane Ledoux in the intersection. That's his other Adams in the field. No relation between Mitchell and Ben, but the 49 machine gonna come across the start-finish line. Cars flying behind him, but Mitchell Adams will take home the win here tonight. And like I said, folks, we could go back and watch this race probably 7 times and see something different every single time we would watch it. Just action-packed, 50 laps, straight up, heads up. My goodness, 49 machine, Mitchell Adams, that's what you get. That wasn't the number 49 machine of Mitchell Adams. That was the number 5 machine of Ben Adams. Getting absolutely tossed up. Look at that number 49. Only made one pit stop here tonight. And able to go to victory lane, and a couple people there giving a celebratory bump. What a race, folks. What a race. Again, I don't know. We could go back and rewatch everything and see everything. Logan Skelton, let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat, because I'll tell you what, the chat is going to be where it's at. I mean, the front stretch is where it's at right now, because you got the 49 machine, Mitchell Adams, doing donuts out there, which is really cool. Hope he's having a lot of fun. Logan Skelton saying, LOL, the F1 2017 graphics. Yeah, we try. They're fun. RC Planes 59, quote-unquote, strategy. Yeah, I'll tell you what, their pit strategy is just not get wrecked. It's a pretty good one. Mitchell Adams did the best of that strategy here tonight. Dana Himmelman having fun in the chat. Rest in peace for the poor cones. Yeah, I think they're going to have to go down to Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, whatever you got. Find every single cone in the state after tonight. Jeffrey Vickery, I forgot to check faster. Oh, rest in peace, Jeffrey. Got to keep those faster pairs on. RC Planes banished to the Shadow Realm. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Steven Doziak, I missed this. Yeah, Carlos Acosta in there. Johnny Williams in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in here tonight. We're going to get some post-race interviews for you. We'll see if we can get some of them down here into the booth. Let's see if we can dial up our third place finisher here tonight. Driver of the number 26 machine, JT Poole. Where is he at? There he is. I got him. Boom. JT Poole, Peter Short, 3Y TV booth. You got a copy?
Got you.
Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of people got you too. That little text machine had a target on its back here tonight, but I'm sure you had a lot of fun. We got people in the chat saying, we got to do this every week. Forget the Super Speedway series. Just make it the Figure 8 series. Every week, put them in the bugs. Squash the bugs. I mean, that's what we were doing, right? We're killing bugs.
Exactly.
What was your thoughts? I mean, that looked like a heck of a lot of fun.
I tried my hardest to get that little text machine into victory lane. I couldn't quite get past all those dang Dr. Pepper cars. They kept going after me. And Lightning McQueen, he wrecked me on the last lap after I was going for second, and it's all his fault. But that jump, you can't quite clear the cars that are going underneath you. So every time you go to jump over them, you just decapitate them, and you hurt yourself and the other car. So they need to make that ramp a little higher. But other than that, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed every bit of it.
No. They don't need to make the jump any taller. It produced all the chaos that we wanted to see here on 3Y TV here tonight. I think everyone got a kick out of everyone flying off into the safer barrier and up into the catch fence. It was good time. Let's keep that ramp where it's at. But, hey, you know what? You had a pretty good season in the Taz Racing Customs Superspeedway Series. Having a lot of fun here tonight. JT, what was your thoughts on the season, and are you looking forward to next year?
Yeah, I didn't really do many races this season, but when I did, I felt like I was always up there at the front. I'm glad they're going to the Chucks, since basically everyone in the Superspeedway League runs the Chuck Series on Friday, which is tomorrow. Check out 3Y TV. Thank you guys for putting it on. So yeah, I'm last season was great, but I think everyone right now is just looking forward to next season with the revamped point system. I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, in fact, that revamped point system just coming out, hot off the press. Definitely going to be interesting to see how that plays into next season. Maybe we'll get to see some more drivers running all the events, but definitely is a great series and looking forward to see what the trucks bring. JT, before we let you go, any shout outs here tonight?
You guys for broadcasting it. That was very fun, and I really can't wait to go back and watch it. Everybody in the league that was able to put it on and brace with each other, and I really hope we can do this again.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was a very interesting night. We had some breakdancing in there. We got some cars flipping. We got people going off into Space Force. It's definitely going to be a fun broadcast to listen to here, JT. We'll see you again tomorrow night, I'm sure, in the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series for race number 2 of the season. Looking forward to that one.
Yes, sir. I think I have a chance at that one, and hopefully I'm back in the booth tomorrow.
All right. Well, that is it here for tonight's third place finisher, JT Poole. Good luck tomorrow night.
Bye, Peter.
All right, let's see if we go up, pick up our second place finisher here tonight, driver of the number 77 machine, of course, Drew Eisenman himself. Drew, I know you got a copy. How's it going, bud?
Hey, Pete. I'm doing. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good down here in the booth. You just couldn't quite get that Woody up to the front here tonight. Just so close, but yet so far. Finishing 3 laps down there just seemed like things weren't quite going your way in the Woody.
I mean, I think we very clearly were the fastest out there. I felt really like I could pull 3/10 if I wanted to per lap. Just had, just misfortune. Guys, I think I had like 3 guys pull out in front of me. I had to pit 3 or 4 times, had to get a tow. And Mitchell just was able to avoid that better. But it was fun to have pace, but it's always frustrating when that pace doesn't translate into results.
I think this is going to be the big question. And I just asked this to JT. We got the Super Speedway series, but hold up, wait a minute. How about a figure 8 series? I mean, that looked like a blast here tonight. Doing it, things didn't quite work out, but over a long season, if you did this, 10 times a year, I think it'd be a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a really fun little deal. Maybe do a different car every week, something like that on the figure 8. I'm looking forward. I plan on running the next season of the Super Speedway stuff with the truck. But I agree. I mean, this is a lot of fun, especially with these rallycross cars on pavement tracks. It's always a lot of fun trying to get these things to work because they don't like to turn very well on these tracks. But I mean, that would be a great option. Hopefully the league thinks about that.
Yeah, definitely was pretty cool out there. But what's your thought about driving the bug here around this little figure 8 track?
Understeer. I mean, just didn't really want to turn. You just kind of had to really get your approach to the corner right, or else you were just going to kill your apex speed. In using a fixed set, there's not much you can do. You're just trying to figure out how to drive around the limitations of the setup. But I mean, it's really fun once you figure it out and you figure out where you can push, where you can throttle up in the corner, and where you got to tuck back in, try to do the late apex. These are a lot of fun. Both you and I have experience on road courses with these cars, and they tend to be a whole lot of fun. Typically, there's different approaches you could do, but tonight I really found that it was very line sensitive. And if you nailed your line, like I could run a 20 point, like a high 20. And if you didn't get it right, you'd lose a second-ish just with a small mistake. So precision, which is not something you always associate with these rallycross cars.
Definitely something you also don't associate with figure 8 racing as well, but we saw a lot out of it here tonight. Of course, you laid down a fantastic lap in qualifying, started on the pole, and had things gone a little bit differently, you probably would have ended up in victory lane here tonight, Drew, but nonetheless, second place is nothing to scoff at, and I'm sure you got some people to thank, so let's hear them.
Yeah, thanks for Chris and everybody in the league for putting this on. And then my other big shout out is if you watched tonight, you should watch tomorrow night, because Peter and I will be broadcasting the truck series here at NSRA, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that is going to be one heck of a race tomorrow night. If you haven't checked out the schedule for the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series, we're going to Chicagoland tomorrow night for the Wine, Whiskey, and Review 240, mile and a half. A lot different than what you saw here tonight. Probably won't see as many people get into the catch fence, but who knows, Drew?
Time will tell. I guess the viewers should watch and find out tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to you stopping by up here in the 3-Wide TV booth, Drew, and we'll have you back up here tomorrow. You and I on the call. Have a good night.
Yeah, sounds good, man. You as well.
All right, folks. So that's going to do it for our second place interview. Let's see if we can dial up the winner here tonight, Mitchell Adams, who is also the reigning champion of the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series that you'll see right here on the channel tomorrow night. Mitchell Adams, Peter Short, 3-Wide TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'll tell you what. The name of the game was to stay out of trouble. We looked at the race strategy there at some point late on in the race, and you were one of only a few drivers to only make one pit stop here tonight, because you were able to keep away from all the incidents. How were you able to manage the crossing there in the middle of the racetrack?
We just kind of sent it, and it got pretty lucky most of the night. I've tried keeping my eye on it, but it's hard with the jump there to kind of see who's coming, but I got better at it as the race went on, and just kind of, especially toward the end when I had the lead, just kind of trying to mind the center and being pretty cautious through there, and it was a lot of fun. I love the figure eight.
Yeah, it looked like a heck of a lot of fun out there, just action happening everywhere. What was going through your mind when you saw cars flipping and flying and spinning like a top all the way across the racetrack, ending up in the catch fence? I mean, I bet you were loving what you were seeing up there at the front.
I love it. It's a lot of fun. No matter if you're at the front or the back, it's figure eights on iRacing. They're so fun. Definitely, a lot of the other cars had trouble and I didn't, which was definitely good to help me get the win tonight. It was just kind of trying to keep an eye on where everybody was and kind of anticipating when people would be hitting the crossing, and did a pretty good job of it.
I think a lot of the people in the chat are curious to know whether or not you run VR, triple screen, single screen, because if you run VR or triple screen, you get quite an advantage here on these figure eight tracks.
I am a good old single monitor with my buttons mapped to look right and left. Ever since I got iRacing, never changed it.
So those look left and right buttons, they must have gotten a workout here tonight as you approached that intersection. But all things considered, good season for you in the Taz Racing Customs Superspeedway Series, and you are the reigning Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series champion. We got that right here tomorrow night at Chicagoland. Any thoughts about the season this year in the Taz Racing Customs Series, and what are your thoughts about tomorrow night?
I'm really looking forward to the Superspeedway Series next season. I didn't run full-time this season, but I'm hoping to next season. And Friday night, definitely, if you're watching, tune in. If you've never watched the Friday night series, we always put on a show. It's going to be a great race tomorrow night. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Chicago, so definitely looking forward to both those series.
Definitely is going to be a great race right here tomorrow night. Say at not the same time. It is going to be starting at 9 o'clock Eastern here, folks. But before we let you go, Mitchell, any shout-outs?
Yeah, anybody that's watching, the Dr. Pepper sponsored 49 tonight. That was new. I love Dr. Pepper, so thank you to Dr. Pepper for being on the car. Go drink Dr. Pepper if you're watching. My parents might be watching. Hi, guys. I know Nicole's watching. Hi, Nicole. And you all at 3-Wide TV for broadcasting this, and of course the NSRA for giving us a figure eight race. I absolutely love the figure eights. I'd love to do this again sometime.
Yeah, I gotta say, for as short as a race as we had tonight, I think we had more interaction in the chat than we have a lot of nights here on the channel. Just because I think it was a figure eight, people enjoyed it, people loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was awesome. I think everyone here, even if you didn't win, even if you're not Mitchell Adams, you probably come out of here with a smile on your face. And Mitchell, I know you do. So definitely going to be fun to see you in action tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern in the Stay Tuned Sports Truck Series at Chicagoland. Best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, Peter.
Well, folks, that's going to do it here for our post-race interviews. We talked to our third place finisher, our second place, and, of course, tonight's winner, Mitchell Adams. We'll see if we can bring up the final finishing order all in one. Kind of had it at the top of the screen there, but we'll see if we can bring it up for you kind of as they actually kind of were out there on the racetrack. And here we go. And again, this is not the Total Nonstop Racing League. Whoops, forgot to edit a line of code. And that's also not first place. We'll do things backwards this week. Just like what we saw out there on the racetrack. Backwards racing, backwards commentary. It's the way things go here, folks. Just backwards. And it's, of course, still not working. So let's just say goodbye to it. And now will it work? Hey, there we go. Mitchell Adams taking home the win here tonight. Drew Eisenman coming home in second. JT Poole in third. Colin Ullery, Shane Ledoux finishing inside the top 5 in his number 12 machine. Jeff Wyatt, Doug Neal, 6th and 7th. William Kerwin, typically up here in the 3-wide TV booth, down there racing his bug here tonight in the number 52 machine. Hopefully he had fun out there. You can see on the right-hand side of your screen, a lot of people finish many laps down. Andrew Himmelman finishing 12 laps down in 9th. Ben Adams finishing 12 laps down in 10th. Chris Darling, 15 laps down. I mean, he was basically a third of the race behind Mitchell Adams here tonight. That's just how lucky Mitchell Adams was up at the front, winning by 4 laps. I don't think we have ever had a bigger margin of victory here on 3-wide TV. This is our first time going to a figure 8 track, but we've never had. I know we've had people win by a lap before, but never 4. So, Mitchell Adams, you now hold the record here on the channel. Down there, Jeffrey Vickery finishing 12th, Chip Hansen 13th, and Ben Mashburn finishing in 14th here tonight, only completing 2 laps here at Irwindale Speedway. Well, folks, thanks for stopping by here tonight on the channel. We really do appreciate it. Big shout out to our friends over at SymTV, SYMTV, for the camera packages that we use each and every week on the channel, even though they didn't have a camera package for here tonight at Irwindale Speedway on the figure 8. So some quick camera editing was done on my part, but they're a great partner of the channel and really, really cool. Big shout out to Taz Racing Customs for sponsoring the Super Speedway Series all season long. We saw some fantastic races with the Cup cars this year and really excited to get over into the next season right here on 3-wide TV. We'll be bringing you those truck races. And if we've seen anything, we know these NSRA drivers know how to put on a show, and we're very much looking forward to meeting again right here on Thursday nights on the channel. But, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, we've alluded to it multiple times, the Stay Tuned Sports Podcast Truck Series rolls into the Windy City for the Chicagoland 240, brought to you by Wine, Whiskey, and Review. Well, for myself, Peter Short, and everyone else back in the 3-wide TV team, we want to thank each and every one of you for joining. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button as well, and perhaps even the notification bell so you can not miss out on any of our races that we have during the week. Keep you all entertained. But folks, stay safe, and we shall see ya.